question. Well, today is World Consumer Day, and the Consumer Protection Agency in Ghana says they want the consumer draft document, which was approved by the cabinet of the previous administration, submitted to Parliament, passed immediately. According to them, 10 years of waiting is enough. We'll be joined by the Programs and Research Director, Nana Prempe Eduhene, in the studio. But before then, Joy Business sheds some light on what the law says about your rights as a consumer.
This is a retail space where buying and selling goes on. This is actually a local or traditional market here. Now, we have buyers and sellers, and we, the buyers, are the consumers. As a consumer, you have rights. If you should buy a commodity and you're not satisfied with the product that you have a choice whether to return it or to keep it. But are you aware of such rights? Well, we will find out from the ordinary Ghanaian if they know about their rights as a consumer.
All I know is when the goods are expired, we can report them to the FDA, Food and Drugs Board, and then they can do something about it. But what I usually knew was that they'll go around in stores to check. But I think they've stopped doing that.
I've had an incident where the person was like, I have to change it with a different brand, which I wasn't prefer. Like, I didn't like it because of the color. That's all. If the person willingly wants to change it for a different product, fine. If not, the person wants his money back to buy it from a different store. There should be a way out. But normally they don't want to give you the money back. Once you buy from them and there's an issue, they prefer to change it for you instead of maybe giving your money back in case you don't want it and you want to go and buy it from a different source. There should be something to protect us as consumers.
From what we heard, most people are oblivious of their rights as a consumer. But did you know that as a consumer, you have the right to adequate information on the products you are purchasing, which will allow for adequate comparison before you purchase your goods? Likewise, do you know that as a consumer, you have rights to protect you in case you find yourself in a fraudulent situation? Well, today on AM Business, we'll be throwing more light on your rights as a consumer. It's no surprise that most people tend not to be aware of their rights as consumers. According to consumer rights protection expert Kusi Adumako, this could be largely blamed on the absence of a policy on consumer rights protection.
Nana Eduhene with the Consumer Protection Agency has just joined me in the studio. Now you're talking about, you're welcome by the way, you're talking about getting Parliament to pass that law. It's been 10 whole years. Why has it taken you so long to put the necessary pressure on government?
Well, looking at the history of what has happened so far, the Consumer Protection Agency has done a lot. We came to meet this law in 2007. We went to the Ministry of Trade, which is the sector ministry that is supposed to pioneer the process to Parliament. Unfortunately, that was not done. So the Consumer Protection Agency, together with BUSAC, hired some lawyers, brought them together to give it a new draft that was approved by Cabinet in 2016. Okay. We, after meeting the Parliamentary Select Committee on Trade in 2016, we were assured that we will have our first reading before this Parliament rises. But unfortunately, it did not happen like that. And we were so happy that the new minister mentioned it in his vetting, that he knew that the Cabinet have approved of it, and then he will make sure that it's passed this year.
I see.
Yeah.
What different will it what difference will it bring to the people of Ghana if that law is passed?
Okay. When we say consumer protection, it entails a lot of things. Everybody is a consumer, whether you are a doctor, a lawyer, a pharmacist, everybody is a consumer. We do a lot of purchases, trading and services, millions of it in a day. And what we do is that once you are going to pay for a service, because that is what brings you a satisfaction. That service have to go with the quality that is supposed to go with it. Okay. If it's supposed to be a standard that is supposed to go with it, you have to pay for it in that standard form. It shouldn't come in a way that is minimal to what you are paying. Apart from that also, we've seen so many fake drugs on the market that are killing people. That's why we say consumer issues are also human rights issues. Right. If I tell you the number of people that have died from fake drugs alone, it's a huge number. Apart from that also, what we get in terms of services, most people are shortchanged, yes, when it comes in terms of services. So with the draft that we have come together, it was pieces of laws But be able to bring all of them together. We have someone at the Ministry of Food and Drugs Authority. We have someone at the Standard Authority. But we'll be able to bring all of them together to give us a one composite book, which will give us the guidelines of what the consumer is supposed to do, especially in terms of right of redress
and
when you are searching.
And how will people know about this? I mean, elsewhere there are established shops, there are established malls, etc. So when you go and you buy anything from there, you can return. Actually, I mean, in the UK, for instance, you can buy something and return it after 30 days and get your money back, actually. So is that something, does the structure of our economy and the structure of our market supports this kind of system? Is that a system you're looking to achieve with this kind of law?
Yes, absolutely. Some parts of it support it, some part of it don't support it. But when the law becomes operational, when it's passed, we have to make sure that within a certain time frame, all those things that we're looking for get processed, especially when we have the consumer commissioner. The law says that we will have a consumer commissioner that will see to it that all those things that we are looking for worked. The consumer commissioner will have the opportunity to even close down any organization, production, or shop which is not working well. At the end of the day, let's say, because there are so many things that consumers are not even aware. Even with electricity bills, we have what we call the electricity charter, which says that if Electricity Company of Ghana do not even come and check your bills for a year, and you make all the effort for them to come and check it, and they don't come, you don't pay a cedi.
Really?
Of course, yes.
Will that work in Ghana?
It does work in Ghana, unless you're not supposed to take it.
I asked if it worked because you see, people don't even know. Most of the time, people don't even know their rights, and so people will just trample upon their rights and just get away with it. How then is the Consumer Protection of Ghana, beyond getting the law passed, ensure that this actually works and that the people understand? Okay,
we've put in a procedure that we're going to use for consumer awareness programs all across the country. Now we're operating so much in 3 or 4 regions, but now we are moving into the other regions, especially in the northern sector. We're going to have conferences in the northern region, Upper East and Upper West, and also make sure that we have agents, because most of the time we work with volunteers. Our organizations are non-governmental organizations, and the support base in terms of awareness most of that minimal. But now that if we're able to get the bill passed, the government is obliged to make sure that consumer associations are funded to give this information out.
Funded by government?
That is what the law says. I mean, the law says that
so that's
some
why
part
you're getting
of it,
them
some part
to
of it
pass the law,
has to be
because
funded
you're
by
looking to
government.
get some funds.
Yes.
I see. And the fund is going to come from what, the consolidated fund, or?
There is an established procedure, especially like the mental health. There is established procedure where some funds are supposed to come.
But even the mental health, which you would think is a serious problem, that maybe whether you choose to buy Kobe or not, even that they've not had the airline pass, and so they are still reeling under lack of funds.
Yes, it's true, but that is not really with the consumer protection law. In the Consumer Protection Agency, let me tell you something that maybe what we do people don't know. The Consumer Protection Agency most of the time serves as an alternative dispute resolution between consumers, service providers, manufacturers. We've almost every time, or almost on a daily basis, we receive about 50 to 40 complaints in a day. And almost in every month, we are able to solve about 25 to 30 complaints between consumers, manufacturers, and service providers. So at the end of the day, what we're doing actually is trying to take most of the cases that would have gone to the traditional courts out of the courts for settlement and amicable solution between consumers. So these are some of the things that we do that government really see to it that it supports the idea, and then we'll have the funding that we need.
Okay, well, we're looking at what timelines? Is there any timeline?
Yeah, we've given them the year, because when processes go to Parliament, it takes a lot of time. But we've given it a year that this year the bill should be passed.
The bill should be passed. So far, who funds your activities?
So far,
donations,
organizations like Booksack have been a lot of help to us, and others who, especially our shareholders and others, they have done a lot of work to us.
I see. Thank you very much for passing through. By the way, Nana Eduhene is with the Consumer Protection Agency. They're looking, hoping that Parliament will pass the Consumer Protection Law, and hopefully you and I will have value for money. You're still here with me on the Pulse. Gifty and Opia. Welcome back. Just about wrapping up, the Child Nutrition Foundation has identified malnutrition as Ghana's greatest challenge and not the economy. Chairperson of the foundation, Professor Bedu Akosa, made this remark at the launch of a report on malnutrition in Accra today. He noted that most guardians have not taken seriously issues of malnutrition of their children, resulting in issues such as slow brain development. He revealed that 5.5 adults in Ghana today were malnourished when they were children, resulting in their inability to contribute to national development.
Malnutrition is Ghana's greatest problem. It is not the economy. It is not the natural resources. Because every country's greatest asset is the human beings. And if the human beings are looked after properly, it is these people who will give that country its wealth. There are countries that the good Lord did not give them any natural resource other than the human beings. These human beings have been educated, and we all know what malnutrition does to a human being. It knocks off your intellectual capacity, so your ability to reason, your ability to comprehend, your ability to do anything that the mind is to help you do is knocked off.
Professor Bedu Akosa there. More in our subsequent bulletins. For now, you can log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. My name is Gifty Andopia. Many thanks for your time here on The Pulse. Let's Talk Entertainment comes right after me.